I really want to talk first about where you draw your inspiration as a creative. And even if you are just a regular business owner, I don't even know what regular business owner means, but like regular business owner, we need a definition for that. I don't really know what that is, but in this day and age, as a business owner, you are 9 out of 10 times going to be on social media. You have an online presence to some degree. And so often we get caught in the scroll, getting lost in the scroll. We're telling ourselves that we're trying to find real inspiration. We're trying to find carousel inspiration. We're seeking inspiration from Instagram, from TikTok, from threads, wherever. We're looking at others in our industry, and we get really caught in like the comparison game. Like that's what happens when you get lost in the scroll. And I'm going to be completely honest, I haven't been on TikTok for almost 3 months, which is really, really crazy because I was really hesitant to get on TikTok when it first launched. And I'm really bummed that I did not get on it as fast as I should have. I think my first TikTok was maybe April of 2022, which is so late. I don't know why it took me so long to get on the app. That being said, for, for whatever reason, TikTok determined that my account was breaking guidelines, and so it got banned, and I just decided not to get back on the app. And this was back in March of this year. Um, but what I realized is that I was spending so much time on that app. Like I was spending so much time getting lost in the scroll. It was like my little safe space because I spend so much time on Instagram working, like I'm selling, I'm networking, I'm obviously like posting my stuff that's also counts as selling, but like marketing and all that stuff. That being said, I wasn't really doing that on TikTok. So TikTok became like a safe space, little like decompression app. And I found myself just getting really, really, really caught in the scroll. And that being said, I, my not my photographer, my branding photographer. So her name is Allie Alexandra Ray, photo, and she is absolutely wonderful to work with. I love her, I adore her. But something that I was thinking about today was where do we draw inspiration from? And she, in her questionnaires for her branding shoot, she asks about like other brands that inspire you, and she really pushes you to look outside of your industry, your niche, because obviously other business coaches, other social media managers, other virtual assistants, they have amazing gorgeous branding photos, but am I really wanting to mimic them? Like, do I want to draw so much inspiration from them that is, people are like being able to see the parallels and those types of things? And so she really pushes you to seek inspiration elsewhere, which I absolutely love. I am a massive fan of The Great Gatsby, the movie and the book. Like, I read the book first in high school at, I want to say, probably age 16, and fell absolutely in love with the story. The writing, F. Scott Fitzgerald really killed it with that one. And then I absolutely love the movie adaptation. I want to say it came out in like 2013, maybe. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I didn't like see it when it first came out. I saw it like in, I want to say in high school, like my junior year, like English class. So shortly after reading the book. But going on, that's like a really big inspiration for me. Taylor Swift is my favorite music artist. So that plays a lot into, some of the things. Like I love Midnight's 1989. Those are like some of my favorite albums. And then also I'm a really big, I'm not, I don't know if I would say I'm a really big fan, but I'm extremely fascinated with the Kardashian Jenners and the business empire that they've built. And so I also draw inspiration from them. And really, all this to say is one, the biggest piece of advice that I'm going to give in this episode is seek inspiration elsewhere. Do not go trying to get lost in the scroll. Like obviously, you got to figure out what's trendy and what trends to hop on. But I find that I have the most creative energy when I am not consuming so much on the apps and I'm like finding inspiration elsewhere. And that brings me to what inspired me to record this particular podcast episode, because this is not what I imagined episode 1, like the official episode 1 to be. But I honestly, it just kind of feels right. So Reese and I just got home. We went to see The Fall Guy at our local AMC theater, and one absolutely phenomenal movie. I would say that I'm not a massive Ryan Gosling fan. I've never been like a big like, oh, Ryan Gosling's in this, so I'm going to go see it. I did enjoy him in Barbie last summer, but still not. I don't Is he in The Notebook? I'm not even 100% sure. I've never seen The Notebook. That being said, The Fall Guy, oh my gosh. I don't think I'm going to go chasing after whatever movies he's in, but I absolutely loved him in it. And the movie overall was immaculate. It was stunning. It was amazing. Like the soundtrack, the cinematography, the action, like obviously it's a big action movie. It was amazing. But as I was watching this movie, it clicked in my head that I draw so much inspiration from going to movies. Like I am a full movie experience girl. I love getting to go sit in the theater, get the popcorn, get an icy. Um, I've like my local AMC, I've literally been in the same theater for almost every single movie that I've seen since I moved into the city. Like Theater 8, like that is the theater that I sit, and I sit in the same seats every single time. But something about watching it all on the big screen and having like the surround sound, like it is so captivating and inspirational, and it really gets my creative like gears going. But watching Fall Guy, the whole premise of this movie, at least to me, obviously everyone is, has their own interpretations, but a big thing for me was like, and I feel like this was like intentional, is, bringing like stunt doubles and the stunt crew into the limelight, and giving them their flowers and having them have a moment to really be appreciated for what all they do. And I am someone, Reese for the longest time was so like anti this, but now I'm pretty sure after seeing Fall Guy, he's really sold on it. As I've always been someone who is really big on staying till the absolute end of the movie. Like I wait until the lights come on because I want to watch every single credit. I want to read everyone's names because I believe that they all deserve, like they all worked so hard on this movie that, someone should sit and appreciate their work and be able to, acknowledge them and the part that they played in the movie. Because like think about your experience going to the movie, like blah, your experience going to the movies. You go, you sit, you watch the movie. If it's a Marvel movie, to wait for like an end credit scene because they're always going to give like a little nod to a future movie, a future adventure. It's like a little trailer. But once that end credit scene is done, or once the movie's done, you just kind of get up and you leave. And those end credits, they go for quite a bit of time. Like they can go for 2-3 minutes. And I have always been like, if my name ever ended up in a movie, it would not be at the top, and I would want someone to sit and watch, and be able to read my name. My high school choir teacher, her husband actually, um, his name was listed in the end credits of a movie, but it wasn't towards the top. And like, me, my friends, like other students of hers, like we sat, like we didn't all go together necessarily, but like once people found out that his name was listed, like people were staying and waiting to, snap that picture of his name in the end credits. And this got me thinking as I was watching Fall Guy, as I was like taking all this in, as I was just absolutely appreciating all that they did to really show off the stunt teams. I was just like, why in business do we not highlight our teams more? Like, I was thinking about it, And my coach recently, I had posted a thread where I kind of not called out, but I tagged, I highlighted, I spotlighted the supporting service providers in Solopreneur Sidekick, which is my 6-month mastermind in Captured Media. Like, I highlighted, who they are, what they do in the program. And she was talking about how, you don't see a lot of business owners doing that. And it even got me thinking about not just when you know that other people are playing. Like, obviously, I talk about in my marketing how I have a team, how it's a team supporting you when you join this program. But it got me thinking about all the, you know, like all the business owners, the 6 and 7 figure business owners who are talking about, how to make money online and how they did it. And they don't really talk about hiring a team. They don't talk about their team. They don't really highlight their team. Maybe you can go find their team on their website, on their about page. But really, like, there are whole teams behind these businesses. Like, I just absolutely doubt that these women who are making it to 7 figures, are doing it alone. Like, to some degree, you had to have help. And I think that, like, so often we just don't give credit to the service providers who play such a big role in our businesses. Like, I am, like, for instance, Allie, branding photographer. I will work with her till the day I die. She's going to actually shoot my wedding. I'm really, really stoked about it. And I take every chance I can to highlight and spotlight her. We've had discussions regarding, me tagging her in every single post that includes images. And I don't have to do that. And when you think about it, like Nike, Adidas, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever, they aren't always tagging their photographers, their full creative teams when they're posting something on social media. And so that is something for me that I want to be able to do. I want to be able to have that more luxury big brand feel. But I don't believe that means that you should never, shout out your creative teams, your service teams, your vendor teams. Like, just watching Fall Guy, I was just like, why are we not, shouting out the people more who support our businesses? Why, especially like the big dogs. Like, I've been part of two, I want to say, yeah, like 2 masterminds. I've been part of like a mini mind. And I will say that, and I've just had a lot of experiences with like coaching programs and online courses and all those things. We'll talk about that in another episode, like Catrice and her investing spree that she went on. I went absolutely crazy when I first started, but there is a lot more to it than just shiny object syndrome, which is what a lot of people were telling me that I had. But after doing some work, there's a whole story to it, and we'll talk more about that. But I just realized, a lot of the programs that I was in, a lot of the courses I was investing in, these coaches, these course creators had whole teams supporting them through this process. And you weren't really seeing that online. You were seeing these like one woman shows that kind of give you this like false idea that you can do it all on your own. And I really wonder, in Fall Guy, like watching Fall Guy, I was thinking, like, I wonder how, entrepreneurship is portrayed on social media, how that plays into, the new entrepreneur who is just starting and the thoughts that she's having, and the struggles with superhero syndrome. And with superhero syndrome, the idea is that you struggle to let things go. You struggle to delegate. You struggle to outsource because you feel like you should be able to do it all on your own. You feel like you should be able to save the city, rescue the damsel in distress, like whatever. You should be able to do that all by yourself because, Superman does it and Wonder Woman does that and all this stuff. And it's just mind-boggling to me because you know, in the very first mastermind that I invested in, one of the tips and tricks that I did get was, oh, like just hand this off to a virtual assistant. Uh, and like, I feel like virtual assistant is just the catch all for everyone. But then at the same time, I was getting advice about in this, like, paid container behind closed doors, per se. I was being told outsource, 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 outsource. But my coach, from the outside perspective, and even now when I look at her content, she very much portrays the I can do this on my own one woman show, when obviously I've seen the back end, being able to see like she has a massive team that plays into the success that she's had. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to record, just kind of brain dump, yap a little, because it was just so, I don't know, just watching the movie and watching like not only the movie itself, but the end credits. While the end credits are going, they are showing B-roll of like the making of the film, and they're highlighting like different parts of the team, specifically, not specifically, but primarily the stunt team. And I just was like, why in the business world do we not do this more? And I'm not saying that on every single post we have to be crediting every single person who played into it. You have to be crediting the photographer, the makeup artist, the spray tan artist, the jewelry brand, the like your hairstylist, whoever, your mom, because she created you. Like you don't have to be tagging every single person in every single post, but what could you be doing to make sure that they are highlighted, that they are seen, and not just putting them on your About Me or the Meet the Team page or in a Meet the Team story highlight? Like, how can you make sure that people are, seeing them as top of mind? Like, when they think of you and your brand, they also think of these extensions of you. And, I don't know. It was a wild thought. It was so many dots were connecting in terms of like the things that I've seen, my coach making a comment to me about, how she gave me kudos for highlighting and tagging and showing off who was part of my program, because that's just not done very often. You don't really hear about, all the supporting players, members, teammates in the background of like a program. And yeah, I just think that needs to change. I think that, like I said, we don't need to be tagging every single person in every single post. Obviously, have purposeful, intentional conversations around those things. Um, but we should also be making an effort to make sure that people are highlighted, that they feel seen, that they feel loved and appreciated, and they get to do that in a very open public setting. Like, one of the lines, something that was said in the movie was, some guy asked the question of like, is there like an Oscar, category for stunts? And Ryan Gosling's character, he says no, which like was so, one, made me realize like, holy fucking shit, why do we not have that? Why is that not a thing? But also like, you know, what what are we doing? What efforts are we taking, making, I don't know the wording, but what are we doing to make sure that people are being seen, to give them the space, the platform to be seen, loved, appreciated, and all that in the business world? Because I'm going to be honest, like, I did not fully design my website. And I've talked about this, like, my future sister-in-law helped me, and she is now like my go-to web designer. I have an amazing team who is ready to support me with Solopreneur Sidekick, from like Laurel, who does Pinterest, or Aurora, she's like a system strategist. Like, there is a whole team supporting Captured Media, and there are probably whole teams supporting all the other brands and all the other brands and business baddies that you love and look up to. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. This was really spur of the moment, but I kind of love this. And I will talk to you later.